So thank you so much, Dr. Charney. It is a very great honor to join the class of 2022 today as you receive your degrees from the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. As president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, I am very proud of the long-standing and fruitful partnership between our two institutions. I wish to congratulate the graduates and their families and friends who made this achievement possible. Graduates, the people who have supported you on your journey to this day believe strongly in the vision of the Icahn School of Medicine to transform the practice of medicine and reinvent medical research to produce radically better outcomes for patients. And that is certainly what you did at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. When I look back on my own successes, I too had great support from my family. My wonderful parents inspired a love of learning in my siblings and me, and clearly are the root of all that I have accomplished. I believe that in our lives, a special window in time can open to create unique opportunities to serve one's fellow human beings. A window in time opened for me with the confluence of two historical events. The first was the desegregation of the Washington, D.C. public schools in the year following the 1954 Brown v. Board of Education Supreme Court decision. This meant that I could attend school in my own neighborhood with more competition with children from backgrounds different from mine who introduced me to new perspectives. 2 years later, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite, which launched the space race and sparked a rigorous emphasis on math and science in the public schools, which dovetailed with my own interests and abilities. It was at MIT that I truly appreciated the opportunities that life had occasioned for me. My father always said, aim for the stars so that you can reach the treetops, and at least you will get off the ground. I knew that I had been presented with a great opportunity because MIT was then, as it is today, a challenging and thrilling place to receive an education. After I received my PhD, I focused on my research at the Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory in Illinois and at the European Organization for Nuclear Research in Switzerland. After I had launched my research career at Bell Labs in New Jersey, Governor Tom Kean appointed me to the New Jersey Commission on Science and Technology, which promoted innovation at the major public and private universities in the state. But then another window opened. In 1994, President Bill Clinton asked me to serve as chairman of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, the NRC, which regulates civilian use of nuclear materials and technology. My tenure as chairman of the NRC coincided with the end of apartheid in South Africa and the aftermath of the breakup of the Soviet Union, with weapons-grade uranium of the Soviet nuclear programs needing better control in the newly independent states. My tenure also came 9 years after the Chernobyl nuclear plant explosion in 1986 in Ukraine. I visited Chernobyl, and under my leadership, the NRC worked to create a strong nuclear safety and regulatory framework in Ukraine, which now is being upended by the current conflict. Interestingly, Ukraine gave up its nuclear weapons under the Budapest Memorandum in exchange for security assurances from Russia, the United States, and Great Britain. Early in my tenure, I saw the need for greater international cooperation to avoid future disasters such as Chernobyl. So I spearheaded the formation of the International Nuclear Regulators Association. The INRA is a high-level forum for chief nuclear regulators. The INRA remains in existence today, with membership from Canada, France, Germany, Japan, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, the UK, and the US. And then 4 years into my NRC tenure, I was asked in 1999 to assume the presidency of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, the first technological research university in the nation. Now, at that point, my experience in research, national and international leadership roles, and in fostering international cooperation led the Board of Trustees to believe that I could guide Rensselaer through a needed transformation, which we have achieved. Now, one could ask, how does one whose degrees are in theoretical elementary particle physics and who did research in condensed matter theory end up speaking with PhD and MD graduates of the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai? I could tell you that it was because as a child, I would capture live bees and keep them in mason jars under our back porch. I observed how they behaved in relative light and darkness. I was doing experiments in circadian biology. I could tell you that it is because I'm a theoretical physicist by training with an inherent interest in modeling natural phenomena, including in the biological realm. I could tell you that it was because I was chairman of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission, who visited the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine and became very interested in radiation health effects. I could tell you that it is because I am president of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. The perspectives I've gained from all of these stages of my career are important, but my role at Rensselaer is particularly relevant because not unlike the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, we focus on the greatest challenges in research and education, recognizing that they are too complex and too intertwined to be addressed by a single person, discipline, or nation acting alone. Within our paradigm of the new Polytechnic, we serve as a crossroads, as you do, for collaborations among brilliant and motivated people from all disciplines, sectors, geographies, cultures, and generations, using the most advanced tools and technologies to solve hard problems. So addressing these challenges requires new perspective, social consciousness and care, empathy, leadership, and service, attributes that you have been imbued with here at the Icahn School of Medicine. So the world needs you, and it needs you, both PhDs and MDs, to know that the future requires stronger coupling and reciprocity between translational medicine and engineering science. And that is why our two institutions are jointly strengthening our focus on disease mitigation and human health through precision medicine. And this is predicated on engineering being fundamental to the understanding of basic biomedical phenomena and associated therapeutic interventions. Our universities have a shared history, and that was illustrated through our joint work on the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which has surprised us with its ability to develop new variants as we struggle to understand how mutations in the virus, particularly the spike protein, evolves to allow it to do immune escape. But the dramatic development of the vaccines that have saved so many lives also has depended on engineering, materials science and engineering, to protect for the mRNA vaccines that mRNA and to get it into cells. And all of that then, in the end, requires us to understand more about the techniques and technologies such as those that our other honorees have developed and to use them in medicine. But it also requires us to understand more and bring together molecular and structural biology with genomics, data science, and computation. And so the world is still struggling, and it also is struggling with food and water security, with opioid addiction, heart disease and stroke, mental health, cancer, and diabetes. And so there's never been a greater need for visionary and dedicated practitioners and researchers such as yourselves. And so let me just say this. You are equipped to be the caring and empathetic individuals who will make a difference in so many lives. And I know that you have to be motivated and ambitious to be here. and it is always important that your ambition is guided by your ethics and not have your ethics guided by your ambition. I'm so honored to share this monumental day with you, and I thank again the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai for the great honor of bestowing upon me an honorary degree, especially alongside all of you, who I am sure are poised to change the world. I wish you a lifetime of happiness, good health, amazing accomplishments, and much success. Thank you, and Godspeed.